I got to play in the Scooby Doo world. Basically, we sort of dropped Johnny into the Scooby Doo world. Basically he's by the side of the road, and the van shows up, and he gets kind of sucked into this. Well, he's going to his Aunt Jebediah's house, right? If I remember the names correctly, and so it turns out she's just trying to get rid of him. That's the whole mystery. But it it was just like iconic in terms of like these characters, and that's what I love about Scooby Doo. And we'll get into this maybe more in detail. It's like they're so, gosh, what's the word? There's so much themselves. Like the five characters are like this is an amazing sort of lightning in a bottle combination of characters, for me anyway, that you've got. And I know they've had their different iterations, but they've pretty much stayed close to their core character, Fred, Velma, Daphne, Scooby, Shaggy. They always had their kind of like iconic kind of way of existing, and that was, that's what the ascot, and then I can't see without my glasses, and everybody had kind of like the whole Fred and Daphne kind of like, are they having a romance? What is going on with those two? And it's like, and I was like, let's split up kind of stuff. And it's almost like it was just everything was so beautifully already built, by years and years of Scooby up to that point. Scooby's been in production, and it's the 55th year, right, this year. And I think that, believe it or not, I think it's one of the longest running franchises in the history of animated shows. I think episode wise, obviously Simpsons beats it down, but I mean, they've been making Scoobies pretty much nonstop for 50 years or more. And so like by the time we got to it in the 90s, there had been a lot of Scoobies. There'd been Scrappy, there had been a couple other strange versions, and also 13 Ghosts, and all these different kind of like Scoobies over the years. And so by the time I got my teeth into it, it was like, well, these are obvious things we got to do, because this is classic Scooby Doo, and to sort of drop Johnny into that was just so much fun. My favorite joke, and I think, hope I can take credit because I remember coming up with it, but you never know sometimes. And was like, I can't see without my glasses, and Johnny's like, I can't be seen without my glasses. And those two coming together for me was just like, it made me giddy when it was like, oh my God, and you're like, oh, that's perfect, so I hope I answered your question. I think it's like the idea that especially for Bravo Dooby Doo, you kind of wanted to play the tropes so sort of blatantly, but also kind of poke fun at them a little bit, and then sort of drop Johnny into that. And then he's kind of our way into poking fun at the tropes, because he's kind of like, he'll like almost, I think he does turn to camera a couple times and like, go, what the, it's like, what am I in the middle of here? This is just Jinkies. What the hell is that? So I think it was just heaven just to do it.